Okay. All right. So, yeah. Uh, should have started this shit with the device rotated, but it is true that whatever it is. So yeah, Mad Criminal Kaizen, aka Kaizen 360 on Oral Jackson. If that is even a thing anymore, because we've been having some issues, but that's neither here nor there. Pretty much, I'm here to talk about my thoughts on what's going to happen in the One Piece manga for 2018. So, Whole Cake Island hopefully gets finished up at some point soon. Reverie, that's going to. So, what I see Whole Cake ending up is Luffy is going to have to either somehow. He's not gonna full on beat Katakuri. He's just gonna wear Katakuri down to the point where he's able to get in one good slick shot, and Katakuri's not gonna see that shit coming with his observation, and then Luffy and his crew is just gonna run like bitches. That's because also from the latest chapter, it seems like Stussy is setting up for the future events that we saw from Shaky um, in the Fishman in the Return of Fishman Island. I mean, sorry, in the Fishman Island arc, where we saw Shaky have the vision of Luffy destroying Fishman Island. Now, there's two different ways because I've heard it like because I believe in my first translation of reading the manga, Shaky said Luffy destroys it, and then in the anime when they dubbed it, they said that he's the reason why it was destroyed. So that could either mean Luffy was physically there and that's how shit got fucked up, or he was just the reason behind it. Like he doesn't necessarily have to be there for it to be fucked. So we could see it as one of two ways. Either Luffy was physically there destroying and wrecking shit, or him just doing something led to the Fishman Island being destroyed. So I feel like it's probably the latter where like he's not physically there, and that would make sense because like Luffy has to keep advancing, going through the new world until he reaches Raptor and finds the One Piece. So it would make sense that he may not be. He's like the indirect cause of some shit popping off instead of him directly being there for shit to pop off. So that kind of helps. Now, so Luffy gets in a cheap shot on Katakuri. Probably, they run like bitches. Probably link up with the crew. Now, from the Reverie, I want bomb ass information drops. Like, this is the first time we're ever seeing this many world leaders in one fucking place, or in actual time. So I want like so much fucking information. I want revolutionary information, people's thoughts on Luffy as a person, like the princesses, all the rulers that he personally knows having a meeting about him. What's their opinion of him? Also, I just want to see how like they're gonna interact because there's some world nobles who are like privileged, entitled assholes like Wample and Sabo's adoptive brother, who I know like they're gonna be always gonna be siding with the government because that's the ruling power. They control the most interest in the world. So in order for them to keep their power and keep the status quo and allow them to live the lives they want to, they're gonna have to coincide and go along with the world government. But then there's like those leaders who they respect the world government because of their military might and they respect what they're capable of, but at the same time they don't necessarily agree with all the shit they're doing, like Cobra, um, Rebecca's grandfather, King Riku, um, and a few other like world leaders that are probably more like y'all do some fucked up shit from time to time. So yeah, we have to follow your rule because your grandparents laid down the whole basis for the current system of order. But at the same time, y'all niggas do some fucked up shit. Also, King Cobra is most likely gonna end up heavily injured or wounded by the end of this shit. Maybe dead. And because he's gonna ask a question that hasn't been asked since like um, Clover, and we all know what happened to him. So, and they don't give a fuck if you're a king or anything. Like, even though he is technically a world noble, that doesn't hold any sway if you're not a Marijoa. Because we saw that with Doflamingo's family. Emily, like, if you don't have the ruling power, if you're not like with them, then you're against them, and they have no problem offing your ass. So, yeah. Now, Now, what this does set up for is something very interesting, I believe, in the story in the future with Vivi, because either she's going to be left with like two choices. I feel if something happens to Cobra, either they give her an opportunity to rejoin the the celestial dragons, which would be very intriguing to see, even though I highly doubt we would go for that. But if she does, that sets up for a very interesting plot line in the story itself. Or she goes back to her kingdom and starts plotting a revolution against the world government. And and then there's like so much more information that we can get from around the world, like how are other kingdoms doing? Like, what is the are all let's see, are there more people in the, because I feel like there are more people in the world government that lead toward like Sabo's stepbrother side of things, but they're like, we rule, we control shit. The Palmers are just shit to us, fuck them. And there are way less Cobras and King Rikus in the world who are just and rightful leaders. Um, but yeah, like I feel like a lot of plot points that we haven't even thought of yet will probably be expanded upon when it comes to the Reverie. Um, Also, there's a slight possibility of some Yonko military, Yonko Marines or revolutionary activity actually going on at the Reverie. So that's going to introduce some very interesting things as well. And we still have the whole matter of the Shishibukai system. Will that even stand after the Reverie with the way things have been going? Because Luffy has been taking those fuckers out like left to right. Those are my thoughts on the Reverie. Like, there's a lot of things. Like, I feel like that's more of an information arc. I don't know how long it'll be. Hopefully, my best estimate is 25 chapters. Like, I feel that would give them enough time to like meet some new characters, introduce some interesting people, set up for some plot bombs and shit like that, and also see what the fuck is going on around the world. Now, we get to Wano. I've had this feeling for a long time lately that Wano is gonna be like Sabaody, and what I mean by that is gonna be bringing in like all of the supernovas, every, like all the supernovas are going to be gathered there, because if you look at it, that's kind of what it's setting up to be. Like, Arouge has had a run-in with Kaido. He has personally met him. He didn't know it at the time that was Kaido, but he met Kaido. Luffy, Zoro, Trafalgar Law, and Capone, if he continues to travel with them, he is going to Wano to follow them. So let's see. So out of the supernovas, let's look. We have, because I have to count because I can't keep fully track of this. We got a Rouge who's at a run-in with Kaido. We have Luffy, Law, Zoro. Let's see. A Rouge, Luffy, Law, Zoro, Oro, Capone, possibly. Then we have Basil Hawkins, who was probably joined under Kaido after seeing all his strength, or just a bandage ready. We have Scratchman Apu, and we have Kid and Killer. That's 9 of the supernovas. The only ones left are Bonnie and X Drake. He's already fucking there because he's a part of the crew. So the only person missing from this whole equation is Bonnie. So 10 out of the 11 supernovas are going to be in Wano in some form or fashion. Now, Capone, he's kind of like an if factor. Capone and Ruse, they're kind of like an if factor. But taking those two out, that's still 8 of the fucking supernovas. So, like, this is going to be building up to something way more expansive. Because, let's see, with Wano, we're getting the second to last road poneglyph. We're getting a big ass battle because we know Kaido is really raring for a fucking war. And also the swamp dude, I can't fully remember his name right now, is in Kaido's possession. So he probably dropped some information bomb about Shirahoshi, and that could be some shit that could have future inclinations. Because with Shirahoshi being revealed to be Poseidon, we already know how the world government feels about fucking weapons of mass destruction. So that's gonna fuck up some shit even more. Like, I don't really know how to expand upon that, because they killed Tom trying to get information on shit. I cannot remember the name of that. Pluton. Sorry, I was drawing a blank. They killed Tom just to get information on Pluton. They did all this shit to Iceberg to get information on Pluton. They were planning on either destroying it or making it themselves, making a whole fucking fleet, most likely, of Plutons. And we've seen what they can do with a Buster Call. What the fuck you think they're gonna do with Pluton? And then this leads back to the Reverie, because if they know, hold up, the world government might already know about Shirahoshi. I know it's kind of weird to think about it, but if we take that the Celestial Dragon, okay, that he went back along with Shirahoshi's mom, he probably told his parents or someone along that lines about, like, oh, there were Sea Kings planning attacking me because of this little girl's yell. Like, he probably didn't know it off rip, but he kind of like noticed that shit. And if he informed those people about this shit, they could have been having this whole setup with the name shit could be a setup just to get Shirahoshi to the surface to be captured by the world government. Just a thought. And the war might start over Shirahoshi. And that might be some shit. Well, because I feel like there's a lot more to her than meets. Like, I mean, of course, there's a lot more to Shirahoshi than meets the eye. But she's a shy girl. She can't really control her fucking powers like that. But at the end of the day, if she's emotionally upset, it'll fucking happen anyway. And if they drive her crazy or try to fucking kill her, off rip, she gonna summon them goddamn Sea Kings, and shit's gonna get wrecked somewhere. Cause they couldn't fuck with her in the ocean, but since Mary Jo is so fucking high, she loses contact with the Sea Kings, and she's perfectly in the element of capture. Just a thought. That's just like my mind. Like I be going for like one direct thing, but then my mind just goes off somewhere the fuck else. But yeah, back to Wano. A lot of the fucking supernovas are gonna be there. Like about 8 of them motherfuckers at least. So Sabaody all over again. But this time it's gonna be a battle between them niggas. Now, we know like Luffy's plan is, Luffy's Law and Zoro, their all shit is, we gonna take down Kaido. And after experiencing the shit that Luffy's going through, he's probably gonna get an advancement in power up, seeing that he just, because like I felt like since the time skip, Luffy has been behind Zoro and Sanji. And I know it sounds fucked up and weird, but if you look at it, Luffy's been having to tire himself out, whereas Sanji and Zoro haven't. like even though they had big major battles, they haven't been in a condition like they would have been in a prior to the time skip. Because if you look at their major battles before the time skip, they've always been to the point where like they're completely exhausted, they're about to fucking collapse, they've been injured, they have to rest for days and shit. But ever since the time skip, Zoro and Sanji to certain extents has never been put in a position where like he has to like do that anymore. And I feel like mainly because when it comes to Zoro, he is conserved. He's been able to conserve his power and know exactly what the fuck he needs to do to take down an opponent without pushing himself that far. Or if you look at it this way, he hasn't had an opponent that he could push himself that far. So Wano is going to be a great battle arc because we're finally going to get all the Straw Hats together, and they're going to be doing big momentous shit. Because that's one thing I didn't like about Dressrosa, even though I understood from where it came from, where they had to split up, because like a threat was on the horizon. Big Mom, she was coming, she was gonna fuck them up, so they had to do what they had to do and split up the crew. But it didn't give them a good chance to showcase their shit. So I feel like Wano is gonna be Supernova versus Supernova, Kaido versus the Straw Hats Alliance. Is going to be a big ass battle arc. There's going to be so much shit, especially, but at the center of all the bullshit going on, Zoro is going to be dead in the middle, and Shirahoshi is going to have some shit to do with the referee at some point. Those are the two main points that I want to get across. Now, hopefully Wano will start up by the end of this year, probably towards like October, November, somewhere in that line, maybe earlier, maybe later, depending on how they're gonna do this shit. Also, we got Weevil, who is looking for Luffy so he could find Marco and shit. So a lot of shit is building up in Wano. But the main arc I'm truly concerned about right now is the Reverie, because all the fucking information we're gonna get from there. So yeah, those are my thoughts. My best guesses on what's going to happen in 2018. There will be another video coming out at some point this week discussing the 11 supernovas and what I believe their backstories are just from my own imaginations and machinations. So hopefully y'all watch that. As always, it's been your boy Mad Criminal Kaizen. Like this video if you like this video. If you have any ideas, please put those in the comment section below. Share this with your favorite YouTubers. Maybe I might get on a stream and talk with them dudes. That'll be cool as fuck. I'm just really trying to improve on everything this year. Like, I've been slacking for so fucking long, and it's not just this YouTube thing, it's just been life in general. So put me out there, spread my name, give me some more subscribers. That'd be cool. So as always, peace.